This is the Biz Call. Okay, here we go again. What's your name?
My name is Noel S. Walsh I.
Question 2. What's the name of your business?
NWNA, Conquer What You Chase, Sales Training.
Number 3. Describe your business in a few sentences.
Helping salespeople and sales teams go to where they want to grow by learning how to build strong relationships, have cohesiveness throughout departments, and ultimately serve the customers, because served customers come back to see you.
Question 4. What's your revenue model there?
I do online sales training with my platform Conquer You, which is very vast platform. It has over 1,500 training modules, 70 hours of training, 2,300 test out questions, 10,000 speaking points. I also do in-house training where I go into a business's, place of business and teach their sales teams, their staff, work management. And I also do speaking at events, paid speaking and free speaking. But that's basically my business model right there.
Alrighty. Question 4. What's your revenue model? How do you make money?
So I do online sales training. I do virtual training on virtual calls. I get paid for conference events. And I do sometimes have personal coaching clients come into my office or via phone call or a virtual call.
So it's a multi-stream operation, some fee, some subscription, that kind of thing, right?
Absolutely correct.
Good. Okay, question 5. Are you brick and mortar, online, or both?
I do have a brick and mortar office. Most of my business is done online, and my most successful events are my speaking engagements, and then my favorite is in-house training, where I'm really there with the people and I can ask their questions right when they come in, and the whole team gets to hear the question and the answer.
Okay. The meat and potato question. Question 6. How did you decide to get into this business?
So I started in sales when I was about 21. I started out successfully, and then I kind of got that freshman fat, or whatever you would call it, where I kind of thought I knew everything, and I watched how some people took the shortcuts, and oftentimes it's easy to go to the shortcuts. Well, then my production started dropping, so I really learned in sales that it was about serving the customer, and I got to that point by watching the best in my business, and my customers would come up to me, and I was in car sales, and they would say, you're the best car salesman we've ever had. We bought 12, 20 cars. Everybody should sell like you. And I worked at a large dealership, and there's a lot of salespeople, and the salespeople would come up to me more often than they would go up to the managers for their questions. So I really realized that I had a niche there, and it was a passion to help people go to where they want to grow.
Cool. All righty. Question 7. Why would customers choose you over your competition?
And there's a lot of competition out there in every business nowadays, but I think ultimately is the fact that they see that I care, I know what I'm talking about, and that I truly am passionate about helping them succeed, because one of my favorite things is watching someone succeed sometimes overcomes the fare I got, right? The income, the check, however you would want to call it. Okay. And so it's really to bring out the passion in people, make it simple enough to understand, but effective enough to work.
So if I can sort of like play it back to you, not only do you have your tactics and your strategies, which are at least as good, if not better, but on top of that, you have your own personal style that you bring to it, which nobody can duplicate.
Correct. Yes. And, one compliment I've always heard and have received is that, that I'm passionate about what I do and that people feel that I care.
Yeah, that can be contagious. Excellent. Okay. Question 8. If there is one, what is the exit strategy or long-term goal of the business?
Yeah, so it would be, build my business up, serve my clients so that they'll come back, so therefore I can grow my business, and if it's something that my children are going to be interested in, it's something that I would like to hand down to them. If not, I would like to make it profitable enough to be able to sell that and let my kids decide, and my wife and I live the life that we want with all that effort and work that I put in.
Okay. Question 9. What are you doing to increase your business?
And I would say this is probably like most people. I start with the phone. I send out emails, text messaging, social media. I put posts out there. I share a lot of content on social media to grasp people's attention and to, really help them understand what I'm trying to accomplish, reach out to them, and then let them approach me in a way that's most comfortable to them.
Makes sense. Question 10. How do you measure marketing success?
I would say first off is, especially in today's age, is messages, whether that's a text, a phone call, a response on a social media post, a social media messenger, not much mail coming in anymore. I've been getting a lot of opportunities to speak at events and winning some awards where people are reaching out and they've seen what I've accomplished in the industry. And to just, keep pushing myself out there and respond effectively and timely.
So that's your methodology, but do you ever sit back and go, okay, I put this much effort into this marketing program, and now let me gauge and see how it's doing, if it's performing to an acceptable level. And by the way, some people don't do that at all, and some people are absolute data freaks with KPIs and the whole thing. Just kind of wondering where you fall with that in there.
Yeah, no, and that's a great question, and thank you for asking that. So I do look at some of the data. I try not to get too hung up on the data for the simple fact you can get lost in the data. Where I'm not as great, I bring in contractors who are great at that, whether I'm doing a social media campaign, whether I'm doing an email campaign, whether I'm writing an article for a magazine, whatever it is, but just really trying to keep myself pushed out there and see the response that I gain from that, and then adjust accordingly and have my say in it and oversee it, but leave it up to the experts.
Okay, and then the contractors report back to you, right?
Correct.
All righty. Okay, question 11 can be one word, yes or no. Are you profitable?
Yes. Not as much in 2020 as previous years, which I think happened to a lot of businesses. Some businesses did better, some didn't. But this year is really starting out well, and last year was a little bit slower, but it's been growth since I started my business every year, except for last year was the only year that faltered and had to deal with the consequences of the environment and everything that we all had to deal with as a world.
Sure, sure. Question 12, how many employees do you have?
So, I've had employees, I've had account executives, I've brought them all on. I think I'm a better trainer. I'm a great leader, but I never really got that boss stigma. So I would say I'm not the best boss. I'm a good overseer. And so now I'm pretty much a one-man band, but I do use anywhere from 5 to 15 contractors depending on what kind of work I need done. And what I like about that is that's what they do. I don't feel that they see complacency as much as when you do have a lot of employees. And so depending on the project, the program, exactly what I have going on, I keep it small, but I do have a lot of contractors and contacts I can reach out to utilize their talents and abilities.
Yeah, I think that's actually a very popular model. Okay, great. Excuse me. Okay, question 13, 14, two sides of the same coin. Question 13, what's been the best decision you've made so far?
And for everybody who owns their own business, you're always going to have days where you go, gosh, is this worth it? It'd be easier to just go work for someone and get a check and leave all the responsibilities up to them and just kind of manage myself. But sticking with my vision and my passion and having the faith in my abilities, my talents, the message that I bring, and the results that I'm able to see, and just really sticking with my vision and passion and being born to not be a quitter and always want to go for more.
So am I to take it that the best decision you made so far was to strike out on your own?
Yes, I think that is very healthy to face failure, to understand, accept, and appreciate victory.
Okay. Flip side, question 14. What's been the worst decision you've made so far?
I think I talked about this a little bit in some of the previous questions, but trying to do it all myself and not reaching out or looking or asking for help when there was a part of my business that other people would be better at doing. It would be more natural, and that's their expertise in their profession. So really getting past that pride and, knowing what you're good at and knowing where you could find somebody who's better, faster, and more efficient.
Got it. Okay. Question 15. You can freeform this one. Is there anything else you'd like to add?
It's been a awkward little time that we've all gone through, but I think you really need to, they say if you love what you do, you never work a day in your life.
Right.
Then you hear other people say, oh, it's a Monday. I've got a case of the Mondays, right? So knowing what you're going in there to accomplish, having a game plan, having a process, following the structure or creating a structure, and really just not letting up, but keep pushing no matter what circumstances you face, knowing that we're going to have, sunny days and we're going to have rainy days and we're going to have blizzards and all these other things that we're all going to face, is really just staying motivated, staying focused, and really knowing what we set out to do, how to do it, and ultimately doing it.
Well, I got to tell you, you can feel the energy coming through the phone line, so I'm sure it works. That's great. One last time, let's go really slowly. Give me the name of the business slowly, and also the URL where people can find you.
Yes, so the name of the business is NW, the Ambersol symbol as an N, A, so NWNA Conquer What You Chase Sales Training. And my business's name is the actual letter N-A, SalesTraining.com.
That's wonderful. Awesome call, Noel. Thank you so much for being on the show.
Hey, Rob, I appreciate this, and thank you for having me as a guest. I appreciate you reaching out to me. And also, when you do post this to Spotify or what have you, if you could just send me that link in an email, I'll make sure to do my very best to get that to all my social media platforms.
We're on 20 different podcast platforms right now. So almost anywhere you listen to a podcast, you can subscribe to BizCall.
Sounds great.
But I will. I'll let you know. Okay?
I appreciate that, Rob.
Take care, buddy.
You have a great day.
You too. Bye-bye.
Bye.
If you'd like to plug your business on the BizCall podcast, simply visit thebizcall.com and fill out the form. If you become a guest, you'll receive a free lifetime membership to the BizCall discussion and networking list. If you're too shy, you can still join the BizCall list at thebizcall.com.